Hello, it's Miss Shulan from Shaketi Ed, and today I'm going to read about my favorite scientist, Miss Ada Twist. Ada Twist, the scientist. Ada Twist, scientist. By Andrea Andrea Beaty. Illustrated by David Roberts. David Roberts is all the way in England anyway, so. But anyway, Andrea Beaty and David Roberts. I don't know where he is today, but that's where he's from, I think. We didn't say London, England. London, England. Okay. Ada Marie said not a word to the day she turned 3. She bounced in the crib and looked all around, observing the world, but not making a sound. She learned how to climb and made her big break with a trail of chaos left in her wake. She ran through the day, chasing each sound in sight, and didn't slow down till she conked out at night. Ooh. Her parents were frazzled, but tried not to freak, as Ada grew bigger and still did not speak. Clearly, Ada, with lots in her head, would have something to say when it ought to be said. That's just not what happened when Ada turned 3. She tore through the house on a fact-finding spree and climbed up on the clock just as high as she could. Her parents yelled, "Stop!" as all good parents would. Ada's chin quivered, but she did not cry. She took a deep breath and simply said, "Why?" Okay, let's go back and look at the pages because I forgot about it. I forgot about the pages. It gets me excited. Okay, so that's a baby Ada on top of the thing, and then this is when they were so concerned because she still hadn't said a word, but she's so curious. And then this is her on top of the clock, and her parents say stop. Okay, new page. Why does it tick and why does it talk? Why don't we call it a granddaughter clock? Why are there pointy things stuck to in rows? Why are there hairs up inside your nose? She started with why and then what, how and when. By bedtime she came back to why once again. She drifted to sleep as her dazed parents smiled at the curious thoughts of her curious child, who wanted to know what the world was about. They kissed her and whispered, "You'll figure it." Her parents kept up with their flying kid, whose questions and chaos broke through as she did. It is so great to be curious. Even Miss Griff found her hands were quite full when young Ada's chaos wreaked havoc at school. But this much was clear about Miss Ada Twist. She had all the traits of a great scientist. Ada was busy that first day of spring, testing the sounds that make mockingbirds sing, when a horrible stench whacked her right in the nose, a pungent aroma that curled up her toes. "Zowie," said Ada, which got her to thinking, what is the source of that terrible stinking? How does a nose know there's something to smell? And does it still stink if there's no nose to tell? She rattled off questions and tapped on her chin. She started at the start where she ought to begin. A mystery, a riddle, a puzzle, a quest. This was the moment that Ada loved best. So beautiful. Ada did research to learn all she could of smelling and smells, both the stinky and good. One hypothesis Ada thought could be true. The terrible stink came from Dad's cabbage stew. She tested and tested, but soon Ada knew it was time to come up with hypothesis 2. Then Zowie the stink struck again, just like that. Hypothesis 2 is caused by the cat. The cat couldn't make such a stink on its own. It needed perfume and some fancy cologne. So young Ada tested. The test was a flop. She started again, but her parents yelled, "Stop!" Ada Marie, to the thinking chair now by the time we counted 3. Enough, said her mother. That's it, said her dad. Her parents were frustrated, frazzled, and mad. Why, Ada questioned. Her mother said no. What? Ada queried. Her father said go. You ruined our supper. You made the cat stink. Enough with your questions. Now sit there and think. She looked at her parents. Her heart turned to goo. Poor Ada Twist didn't know what to do. Oh, she's in trouble. She sat out alone by herself in the hall, and Ada once more could say nothing at all. And so Ada sat, and she sat, and she sat, and she thought about sciences too, and the cat, how her experiments made such a big mess. Does it have to be so? Is that the part of success? Are messes a problem? And while she was thinking, what was the source of that terrible stinking? Ada Marie did what scientists do. She asked a small question, and then she asked 2. And each of those led her to 3 questions more, and some of those questions resulted in 4. As Ada got thinking, she really dug in. She scribbled her questions and tapped on her chin. She started at why, and then what, how, and when. At the end of the hall, she reached why once again. Her parents calmed down and they came back to talk. They looked at the hallway and she had to gawk. No patch of bare paint could be seen on the wall. The thinking chair now was the great thinking hall. They watched their young daughter in silence they did. What would they do with this curious kid who wanted to know what the world was about? They smiled and whispered, "We'll figure it out." That's what good parents do! She had such good parents. And that's why they did, because that's what they do. When your kid has a passion and a heart that is true, they remade their world. Now they're all in the act of helping young Ada sort fiction and fact. She asked lots of questions. How could she resist? It's all in the heart of a young scientist. And as for that smell, what can Ada Twist do but learn all she can with her friends in Grace too? Will they discover the stink that curls toes? Well, that is the question, and someday, who knows? That's all. Oh my God, it's the end of the book. I wanted more. Andrea, Beaty, this is a call out for the clues. I don't know what I'm saying now. I need more. I needed one more page. Jesus Christ. So if you have this book, you can get it at the library. Ada Twist Scientist by Andrea Beaty and illustrated by David Roberts. Such a great book. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to Miss Shante Schuler at Shakediad.